Jai Guru Dev. So today is the second lecture on Guru Arjan Dev, who is the fifth Sikh Guru. How many of you were there for the first one with Sadev? Few of you? So I will again give the context, otherwise it's difficult to understand. So, few centuries ago, there was a great saint. He was called Guru Nanak. You heard about him? Nanak? Guruji speak about him very often. And he was so great that after him, when he left, he did a new path, a new way in Hinduism. Before was Hinduism, Islam, and different, like Jain, for example. But he did his own path, which is known today as Sikhism, or Sikhi very often. And why do we do these lectures on the 10 Guru of Sikhism? It's because Guruji talked about them very often. Why? I can't say why, but I have my idea on that. It's because the Guru Bhakti in Sikhism is intense. And you will see in the life of Guru Arjan, the devotion to the Guru is amazing. And there is so much we can take from that. So much. I feel very inadequate to talk about this type of personality, like Guru Arjan Dev, because you will see in his life, it's just, for us, it's difficult to imagine this type of bhakti, this type of devotions. And although the philosophy is a bit different than ours, although the context is different, still the essence of the teaching is the same. And so I will talk about his life, and we will try to get some philosophy from that also. So we will see some topics. So the birth, how he was at birth, when he was born, the life story of Guru Arjan, then the witness of faith, that you will see is the culmination of his life, and then we will conclude with some of Guruji's teaching on the subject. So just to remind you of the lineage. So I say it started with Guru Nanak, who was his great personality. One of his disciples, called Lena, became Guru Angad, the second Guru. From him, Guru Amardas was initiated. Then Guru Ramdas, and then Guru Arjan Dev, who is the one we will talk about today. And Guru Arjan Dev, he has one difference with the others. Is that Guru Angad, he was a disciple of Guru Nanak. Amardas, he was a disciple of Guru Angad, and so on. But Guru Arjan, he was born in the family of the Guru. He was born into that. He didn't took initiation later on. He was born into this tradition. So his father was his Guru. And this is important to remember, because you will see otherwise it's difficult to understand. His father was his Guru, his father was his God. Because the Guru in Sikhism, in Sikhi, it starts with Guru Nanak. But when Guru Nanak left the body, he gave his own light, his own Shakti to the disciples. And this light of Nanak is given to Guru Angad, Guru Amardas, Guru Ramdas, and then to Guru Arjan. So let's see what the scriptures say about him. If you remember from the last lecture, there is a text called the Guru Granth Sahib here. It is a compilation of the teaching of the 10 Guru of Sikhi, but not only. There is also 18 Hindu saints, like Kabir, Namdev, And there is also some saint from Sufism. So it's a mix of all the saints of that time in India. Very devotional, very beautiful. There is even some Vaishnava saints who say that this scriptures is the most beautiful. Because it's full of, it's not about like, how to say, it's only about realization. They realize the truth and they put it into poetry, into poem, into so many things. And when you read this Guru Granth Sahib, it's just very, very beautiful and inspiring. Many of Guruji's bhajan come from the Guru Granth Sahib. Or Nanak bhajan, they all come from that. So here we see in the same, we see a definition of the birth of Guru Arjan. He say, from birth, he realized God through the Guru's teaching. So he wasn't born as a normal person. He was born fully realized in the family of the Guru himself. And the Lord brought him to practice Bhakti. So he incarnated only to practice this Bhakti, to show this Bhakti, this path of Sikhi, in this case, to the world. They say he was attached to Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, all those that came before him. And he attained the supreme status. You will see at the end of his life how beautiful it is when he leaves the body. So they say in the house of Guru Ramdas, his father, the devotee of the Lord, Guru Arjan, was born. So this is the context. And Guru Ramdas, he didn't had only one son. He had 3 of them. They were called Sri Arjan Dev. I didn't put Guru Arjan because he wasn't Guru when he was born. He became the Guru afterwards. So Sri Arjan Dev was one. Priti Chand was the second, was the oldest actually, but he is the second. And then Mahadev. And the first thing we see in this life is Priti Chand and Arjan, they were doing the same thing. They were doing sevā the whole day, serving the Guru, serving the Father in the Gurudwar, in the place of the Guru, serving the Sangha, always immersed into that, always. Both of them were doing the same thing on the outside. And that's the first teaching there. On the outside, they were doing exactly the same. But inside, it was very different. Because Priti Chand, he wanted only one thing. He wanted to become the Guru. In his mind, it was only what can I do so my father will give me this title. I want to become the new Guru. I want this Eshwarya, we would say, this power, this control over the people. He said, I want this place of authority. And Arjan Dev, he was very, very different. He was fully pure. He served his father only for the pleasure of his father. He was doing sevā in a very, very pure state. And we will see how this small difference, one doing sevā without desires, and the other one doing sevā with only one goal, to take the place of the Guru, will change the full story. One will attain the highest place, and the other one will doom himself completely. And you will see that. Again, in the Guru Granth Sahib, you have this writing from Guru Nanak himself, the first Guru. He say, they give and give, but ask 1,000-fold more, and hope that the world will honor them. So here he talk about sevā. Guru Nanak here say, what is the mindset that we should have when we do sevā? Because he say, people, they give, give, give. On the outside, people can come to the Sangha, they can come to the temple, they can come to doing sevā anywhere in the ashram. They can give and give and give. But if in the mind, they ask 1,000-fold more, then what is the use? Nanak finished by saying, have they done anything good at all? No. And that is the thing. Because we say, okay, I will do sevā in the ashram, I will do sevā in the Sangha. But seva is only possible when there is no desire. That's why bhakti is very easy to understand. We do seva, we think of God, we practice bhajan, kirtan. The process of bhakti is pretty simple. But it is extremely difficult to do. Because there can't be any bhakti if there is desires. And to rid ourselves of desires is extremely difficult. So bhakti is both very simple and very extreme. That's what Guruji explained also. Say bhakti is like this fire in which nothing can stay. Only this bhakti can stay. And we see that in Guru Arjan. But we don't see that in his brother, Priti Chand. And you will see how it divides the family. So one day, Guru Ramdas, he received a letter from the family in Lahore, a place in India, to represent, to be there at the wedding of his cousins, of the son of his cousins. But Guru Ramdas, he was the guru. He had so many people to take care of, so many people coming to see him. So he said, I can't go myself. He said, I will try to test my sons. Because they will have to become guru, one of them. I will try to test my sons. So first he went to Priti Chand, the oldest one. He said, would you go in Lahore to replace me, to represent me? To just be there and represent the guru. But then Priti Chand straight away thought, due to the desire he has to attain the guruship, to attain this status of the guru, he looked at his father and he said, he's not young anymore. And this travel will take months, meaning I will go for months. I will not go for only 2 days, it will be like few weeks to go, because the wedding is not like nobody's wedding, it's like a huge thing. I will have to stay weeks there, and then weeks to come back. If my father falls sick or anything like that, he will have to give the title of guru to somebody. And if I'm there, he will give it to my brother. So he said, I can't go. He tried to find some excuses to not go. He said, he tried to find some stuff. He said, I will not go because I have so many seva here, I have to serve here. But in his mind, it was due to his desire. So we see, just in this example we see, if there is desires inside the mind for personal gratification, we can't do seva. Because we will do only the seva that is fitting to what we want to have. So if Guruji told us, please do this or do that, we will always think, but what if I will not attain the position I want if I do this? What if people will see me differently? So if there is desires, the seva is not possible. Bhakti is not possible. We can engage in the process, but not attain the final state. So Priti Chand is saying, no, I can't go. Then Mahadev, the third son. And he was a different person. Mahadev, as his name indicates, he was a great yogi. And he was fully immersed in austerities, in meditation, in his samadhi. So he say, I have nothing to do with a wedding. He say, I'm just thinking of the name of the Lord the whole day. I'm in samadhi the whole day. I have nothing to do with this reality. Please, just let me stay at home. I don't care about weddings and all this. And Mahadev, the name is very fitting. And so, he said, I can't go because it's not my thing. And so, the Guru say, Guru Ramdas, he said, okay, don't go, no problem. And then he went to Arjan. And what do you think Arjan did? Without thinking, he went. Because he has no desires. So whatever the Guru say, he do. He's fine with that. And it's not like he's not sad to go away from his father. He's super sad to go away. He wants to be with the Sangha. He wants to be in the temple. But his father asked, so he go. His joy is in serving. So the purity of Arjan, he just went. And for him, that was a huge test also. Because he was young. He was like 17, 18 at the time. So he had to go for a month without seeing the Sangha in a place where there is not much people that practice the same. There is no gurus there. So yeah, he had to go, very challenging for him, but he just went. And Guru Ramdas told him, very good, you go. But one more thing. Until I call you, until I send a letter, you don't come back. And this for him was even more a challenge, because then he could not come back whenever he wants. He has to wait until his father told him to come. So he went. He went, traveling. He went for the wedding. Everybody loved him there. He started to preach. Everybody loved his teaching, everything he was saying. People love him so much. But he wanted to be with the Guru. It's like when you were away from the ashram for a long time, or if you didn't saw Guruji for a long time, at some point you just want to see him. You want to be in this association. And Arjan was same in this case. And so, after a month, the wedding finished, and he was waiting. Nothing was coming. And so he started to write some letters. He said, let me write to my father, to tell him that I long to be in the Sangha of the Guru. And so he started to write. And these letters, they are so important. So the first one is called, I will tell you the name after, it will make sense after. He said, my mind longs for the blessed vision of the Guru's darshan. It cries out like a thirsty songbird. My thirst is not quenched, and I can find no peace without the blessed vision of the beloved saint. I am a sacrifice, my soul is a sacrifice to the blessed vision of the beloved Saint Guru. And when he wrote that, he wasn't in a state like just chilling and let me write something. He was in this deep separation from the Sangha, from the Father, from the Guru. And he started to write that. And when Priti Chand, his brother who stayed with the Guru, he saw the messenger coming. He said, oh, this messenger for sure he brought some news from my brother. So I need to block that. I need to see what is written there. And he opened this letter. He saw what is written there. And he said, if I give that to my father, for sure, he will say that is amazing, so beautiful, and he will make Guru Arjan the Guru. So he said, this can't be. So he take the letter, hide it inside his clothes, let's say, and just hide it somewhere. Guru Arjan, Arjan Dev at that time, he was still in Lahore, waiting for the answer. Nothing was coming. So he said, let me write a second one. Maybe my father didn't like the first one. He said, your face is so beautiful, and the sound of your words imparts intuitive wisdom. It is so long since this rain bird has had even a glimpse of water. Blessed is that land where you dwell, O my friend and intimate divine Guru. I am a sacrifice, I am forever a sacrifice to my friend and intimate divine Guru. So see the beauty in that. And also I don't know how many of you listen to Shabbat, the Sikh bhajan, we can say. But if you listen to it sometime, you will see the mood also. It's a very specific mood. It's not like, you can't compare it with anything. It's a very specific type of bhajan that Guruji also sing. He also loved that. So he wrote this second letter. And of course, Priti Chand, he saw the messenger coming. Same thing. He just took the letter, he opened it, said, oh my God, it's even more beautiful than the first one. Hide it and went away. So then Guru Arjan Dev, he was thinking, okay, there should be something wrong there. Because this time, Priti Chand, when he took the letter, he said to the messenger, tell to Arjan that his father doesn't want him to come, that his father just wants him to stay away. And so the messenger came and told that to Arjan. He said, this is impossible. My father will never say something like that. It can't be. The Guru will not say to me something like that in this state. So he said, let me write a third one. And this time he did something different. He wrote in the letter the number 3 to indicate that there was 2 before. And he said, when I could not be with you for just one moment, the dark age of Kali Yuga, dawned for me. When will I meet you, O my beloved Lord? I cannot endure the night, and sleep does not come without the sight of the beloved Guru's court. I am a sacrifice, my soul is a sacrifice to that true court of the beloved Guru. And he wrote the number 3. And he told the messenger, he said, this time, don't give it to Pretty Chand. Don't give it to my brother. Give it straight to the Guru. Otherwise, he will take it away. And so the messenger came, he saw Pretty Chand, and he waited until he went to sleep or whatever he was doing. And he went straight to Guru Ramdas, and he gave him the letter. And the Guru opened this letter, and he saw that, he read that, and he was in shock, he was in complete bliss reading this. He said, Arjan longs so much to come back. Why didn't he write before? And then he saw the number 3. He said, what is that? Where is number 1 and 2? And then Pretty Chand was in a big mess. Because then he had to explain. And so the Guru asked him, where is number 2 and number 1? And he was like, maybe somebody gave me a letter, but I just forgot to give it to you. And then Guru Ramdas just said, okay, send somebody to his house. And they just found the letters. And he had the 3 of them, number 1, number 2, number 3, in front of him. And he was just reading that. And he said, okay, go straight to Arjan and tell him to come back now. Because I didn't knew. I mean, he was testing him, but he said, no, I know his state. And so Arjan came back. He was so happy when he came back. The people there were very sad because to be with him was amazing, but Guru Arjan was very happy to come back also. And what happened when he came back? Exactly what Pretty Chand was against, feared his whole life. Is that Guru Ramdas, he saw Arjan, he saw this situation that happened. How he went without question to Lahore, how he stayed for a month there, the longing he had for the Guru. So he gave him, we can say, the light of Nanak. He gave him the Guruship. He told him, now you are the Guru. And so Sri Arjan Dev became Guru Arjan Dev Ji at that moment. And 2 days after, Guru Ramdas left his body. Because then he passed on the tradition. And he finished what he had to do here. And so he went to the eternal abode. But before that, he told Arjan, he said, please, you wrote these 3 letters. They are amazing, but they are not finished. I want you to write a 4th one to close that. And then to close that and make it as almost like scriptures. And then he wrote a 4th one. He said, by good fortune, I have met the saint Guru. I have found the immortal Lord within the home of my own self. I will now serve you forever, and I shall never be separated from you, even for an instant. So we see how realization came when he received this light of Nanak, even more than before. Servant Nanak is your slave, O beloved master. I am a sacrifice, my soul is a sacrifice. Servant Nanak is your slave, Lord. Can you tell me what is different in this one? Can somebody of you see something very different in that one, especially in the last sentences, the last part? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, for sure. He had the darshan of his guru, but even more. What did he write? Servant Nanak is your slave. Yeah, That's the point. No, but he write as Nanak. And if you look in the Guru Granth Sahib, in this compilation, they don't say Guru Arjan Dev say, or Guru Ramdas say, or Guru Govind Singh say. They say Guru Nanak say. They write as Nanak. Once they receive this light of him, once they receive this power from Nanak, they write as Nanak. So the Guru Granth Sahib is all about Nanak, let's say, and this light, this Shakti he gave to everybody. But yeah, it's true that he met his Guru, that he had the darshan and all this. And Guru Ramdas, when he saw this fourth letter, he said, okay, compile them, and they will be called the Shabad Hazare. The name you see it. Hazare means 1,000. Meaning these 4 letters, they have the power of 1,000 praise. Shabad is a praise. Praise or, yeah. We don't have really an equivalent, proper equivalent in English. Shabad. Yeah. It comes from Shabda in Sanskrit, which means a sound. The sound is, yeah, this kind of thing. So that's the first part of the story. Then his Guru Guru Ramdas left the body, as I said. And then Petit Chand, he was in this intense jealousy. He was completely lost. Because his father went away. His brother became the Guru. And he was burning. He was burning with anger, with jealousy, everything you can imagine. First he hid the letters, as we saw. Then this is crazy. Then he accused his brother to have killed Guru Ramdas. Because when he came back, 2 days after, the Guru left the body. So he tried to turn the mind of the people against Guru Arjan by saying he killed his father. So you see how one desire which is not that, which seem a bit like nothing. For one desire, he could not do any service to his father. For one desire, he accused his own brother to have killed the Guru. Such a strong accusation, no? And then you will see what comes after. And this we saw, I put some Bhagavad Gita also. Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha. This is Arjuna asking. He said, it's in 336. When Arjuna he asked, he said, but what is this thing that push somebody to do papam, to do sinful action? What is this thing that even if the person know what is good, still he will not do what is good. He will do what is wrong. What is this thing that push somebody to do himself, even if he know the right way? And then Krishna answer, he say, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhava. So it is Kama, it is these desires, and it is this anger. Krodha is the anger. And we see that in Petit Chand. He was the best example for that. Desire, anger. And he went against his own father, he went against his own brother. He tried to divide the community, he tried to make everything fall down for his own interest, for one desire. So like Krishna is saying to Arjuna, he said the enemy of the world is desires. The enemy of the sage is these desires. So you should get rid of that. In the Gita also, he say there are 3 gateways to this hell. So Naraka. In Naraka, the second, Naraka is hell. And he say desire, anger, and greed. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. A famous one. So this is the 3 gateway to hell. And he say you should abandon all of them. Otherwise we finish like Petit Chand. Otherwise we, in place of trying to become like Guru Arjan, following his example, we follow the example of Petit Chand. And we just doom ourselves in these desires. And yeah, it end up in in hell. Like Krishna said, literally in hell. We make our life hell. Burning with these desires, burning with anger, all the time. And on the other side, we can see what Guru Arjan was writing. So you have Petit Chand is burning with jealousy, anger. And then we see what Guru Arjan Dev was writing. He say the word of your bani, so your speech, is ambrosial nectar. Hearing it again and again, I am elevated to the supreme heights. The burning within me has been extinguished, and my mind has been cooled and shut by the blessed vision of the Guru. So here, there is again something important for us also as devotee of Guruji. Guru Arjan Dev say, hearing the satsang of his master, the burning within him completely stopped. Anger, jealousy, all these things, they just stopped. But there's a problem there. Because he was listening to his father, the satsang also, but Pretty Chand also was listening to the father. So what is the thing? What is the difference? We can all listen to Guruji, but who truly listened to Guruji? And we see in this verse, because he says somebody who truly listened, the burning stopped. All desire stopped just by listening to the Guru. Just by listening to somebody who has this realization, straight away, everything goes away. All the bad qualities, everything goes away, like in Guru Arjan. But if we keep the desire, if we keep attached to our own, what we want, I want to become the Guru, like Petit Chand was doing, then even if his father was speaking, even if the Guru was speaking, he could not hear anything. He was listening, yes, but he could not truly hear anything. Same. Guru Arjan say, by the blessed vision of the Guru, everything, he was in bliss. But his father, his brother also, he was looking at the Guru. His brother also, since birth, they were looking at the Guru. They are born in this family. But one of them doomed himself in hell, and the other one attained the supreme height, like he say. So he just gives a nice thought that we can see Guruji, we can hear Guruji speaking, but do we truly see him? Do we truly listen to him? Do we apply what he say, or we just listen for the sake of listening or whatever? And that's very, very important, because the change inside comes only when we try to implement what he say. Not just listening in satsang, but like Guruji say himself, he say take only one small part of it and practice it fully. Apply it fully. And then the change will come straight away. Like Arjan says, it's so beautiful. He said the burning within him, burning within me has been extinguished. My mind has been cooled. And we all want that. We see in human life, we all want happiness. And Krishna say, Ashantasya kuta sukham. He say, Ashantasya, without peace, without the mind being cooled, kuta sukham, how can they be happiness? They can't. So until we listen to Guruji, the Guru properly, until we try to, when we look at him, we try to meditate on him, like he said, to chant the name, this peace will never come. And without peace, kuta sukham, how can they be happiness? It's not possible. So even we all want happiness, but this happiness starts by listening to the Guru and try to apply what he say. Even a little bit of it. Just that. It will calm the mind straight away. And that's the big difference between the satguru and a teacher. And this I can tell you from experience, because I like to study a lot, different things, university stuff or about Hinduism. And sometimes I just spend hours listening to any topic on Hinduism or philosophy. And I think you all did that. Even in university or in school, you spend hours reading about something. Spend hours listening to a teacher. How is the mind after? It's heavy. We want to go outside. We want to relax. We are like, okay, just let me get rid of that. I can't. We just want to have some time for us. The mind is going right, left, right all the time. Agitated. We just want to go out and do something else. But with the Guru, with the Sadguru, it's different. It's the opposite. The more we listen, the more the mind calms itself. And this, I could see in the Guru Gita, because I was doing the sevā in the audio department, so I was mixing for the people online. And so I wasn't in the tent. But during Arati, I was coming for like 10 minutes just to see Guruji. And I don't know for you, but the atmosphere in the tent, the mood in the tent was amazing. You enter, you wanted to cry. Like, if you were there, maybe you didn't realize. But if you come at the end of the day and you feel everybody was in this state of mind is calm, like meditation, you know? As if everybody is meditating, listening to the Guru. And that is the Satguru. Guruji say the difference between the teacher and the Satguru is the Guru he give Gyan. Gyan, which means knowledge. But the Satguru he give Gyan and Dhyan, which means the meditation. So when Guruji speak, he doesn't give only the knowledge, but he gives the state that goes with the knowledge. The state that helps us to understand that knowledge. I never listened to Guruji and got the mind who was more agitated after 1 hour of listening. Sometimes the mind fight back a bit when Guruji is tough. But then after some time, the mind just cool down. And exactly like Arjan is saying, the burning waiting just stop. And that's so important. Because when Guruji speaks, it's not simple things. It has this spiritual dimension inside. And Guru Arjan, for his Guru, he saw that straight away. For Guru Ramdas, he knew about that. And he was enjoying so much. So now, we go to the last part of the story. Yeah, it's good timing. So Guru Arjan, he grew up, he married, and he had a son called Sri Hargovind, who became the Guru after him. And now, his own son, Sri Hargovind, he reached the age to marry. And this was known in the kingdom. And there was a priest that advised Chandusa. Chandusa, he was somebody who was close to the emperor, the king, the Mughal king at that time, who was called Jahangir. Jahangir was the son of Akbar, King Akbar. I don't know if you know about him, King Akbar. So in India, there is a descendants of King Akbar, then Jahangir. Khusro was the son of Jahangir. It was the same time as Guru Arjan. King Akbar, he was old and he left his body. And before leaving his body, he wanted to give the descendants to his grandson. But I will come to that after. But the son of Akbar, Jahangir, he had a close person to him, who was called Chandusa. And a priest came to this Chandusa. And he told him, you know, you have a daughter. She also has the same age as Arjan, as the son of Guru Arjan, Sri Hargovind Singh. You should approach the Guru and ask him to marry his son to your daughter. And then Chandusa, he became extremely arrogant. He said, how can I marry my daughter to such a person? They are gurus, they are just contemplating, they don't have anything, they are poor. You know, he just kind of started to make fun of the gurus, of this whole lineage. But then the priest keep asking, and he said, okay, just let's send a letter to Guru Arjan and ask him. But then, when the letter came to Guru Arjan, all the Sangha told him, no, never accept that. Because this person, Chandusa, before sending the letter, he was making fun of your father, he was against you, he was making fun of the whole lineage. They say you should not accept the daughter of such a person, because he's against us. There is no reason to make this vow, this commitment. And Guru Arjan, he was the Guru, he said, okay, if the Sangha doesn't want, I will not do that. So if he was fully aligned with what the Sangha wanted, fully surrendered to the path. So he said, I will not give my son to her. And this, when Chandusa, he received this letter that said no, he became completely crazy. Because he thought about Guru Arjan of something less than him. He said, they are all less than me and all this. And then this person said no to his daughter. And he became completely crazy. And he said, okay, I will do everything I can to go against him. And as I say, he was close to the emperor of that time, Mughal emperor of that time. So now the second part of the story, and we will link them together after. We have King Akbar. And King Akbar, he was, some will say, Sufi, some will say following Islam, but in a more traditional way. But he was very open-minded. He wasn't he wasn't a normal person. He was very open-minded. He has his own take on spirituality. And if you can even find some video that explain the philosophy of Akbar. It's a very different. We've seen the story of Mirabai also. Mirabai, King Akbar, he went with Tansen, one of his associates. He went and he went to see Mirabai singing. So that's how open-minded he was. He wasn't orthodox, so to say. And he knew that his son Jahangir is not like that. His son is a bit more. He's not a good person to become king. Not at all. He has the mind that he has negative qualities. He should not be king. So he said, but my grandson, he's good. Kushlo, he was called. He said he's very good. He had the same mindset as Akbar, open-minded, very knowledgeable. It's okay. I should make my grandson the king. But then he left his body, and Jahangir took the throne from his own son. No, that's completely such a shame. But yeah, he took the throne from his own son to rule in India, the Mughals' kingdom in India. And Chandusa, he was a close associate to Jahangir, just to make the story full. So Jahangir became this king. So as you see, he stole the throne. And then Chandusa, he was trying to find an excuse to turn the kingdom against Guru Arjan. Because he said, he didn't accept my daughter, so I will do everything to mess up his life. But there was no reason, because he was super. They were amazing personality. They were all the gurus, they were respecting everybody, all the saints and everything. But Kushro, the one who was king and the father stole the kingdom from him, Kushro, he went to Guru Arjan to ask for advice. Because he knew Guru Arjan is such a great personality. For sure, he could help me with the situation. So Kushro, the grandson of Akbar, the son of Jahangir himself, he went to Guru Arjan and he said, can you advise me on all these things? And this was the perfect excuse for Chandusa. He said, look, your own son is going to Guru Arjan for advice. Call Guru Arjan to the kingdom, to the court, and tell him to explain what he said to your son. Otherwise, there might be things that you don't know about in your own kingdom. So he said, bring Guru Arjan in your court and ask him to explain himself. And Jahangir knew how great he was, how great Arjan was, Guru Arjan was. But still he said, okay, I will follow what he said. So he invited Guru Arjan to come. So he authorized Chandusa to send this letter to Guru Arjan Dev. And then on receiving that, Guru Arjan, he knew exactly what will happen. He knew exactly how this will finish. Because also in India at that time it was quite tough. It wasn't like a easy time. He knew in terms of dharma, in terms of religious context. He knew exactly how it will go. And so he said to his son, Sri Govind Singh, he gave him the light of Nanak. He made him the Guru. He said, now you are the Guru. And whatever happened, don't be angry. Don't be against them. Just know that is the will of the one. So he gave the Guruship to his son. And he went. He took 5 Sikh with him. And they went. Again, one more time to Lahore. The first time he went to Lahore, where he write all these letters to the Guru. Now, second time he went there. But it was for a different reason, to meet Jahangir. And so he went, and on his journey, as we saw before, it took a lot of weeks and months. He preached. He preached about Guru Nanak, Guru angered all the gurus, and everybody loved that. So he made so many people came to Sikhi, so many people started to follow him, and everybody loved him. And yeah, so many things like that. And when Chandu Sai heard about that, he became even more angry. He was like, you ask him to come, and on the way he make disciple. So it's like it was the worst thing for him, like to happen like that. And so he became even more crazy. And he say, how can I turn the mind of the emperor Jahangir against Arjan? So he started to do that. So he started to make up some story. He said, Arjan, on his journey, he take the money of the people because people give donation. He's taking their money and all these things. So he started to make up stories. But still, when they arrive in the kingdom, Jahangir, he received them very well. Because they were gurus, Sikhi, a lot of respect. So he received them very well. They had a high seat and all this. Chandusa was extremely angry with that. But still, they were received properly. And then Jahangir said, okay, I need to ask them something. And so he said, what is the highest? Hinduism or Islam? A very tricky question to ask, especially at that time in India, because whatever you will answer, you will finish in a pretty bad way. So he said, what is the highest? Hinduism or Islam? And then Guru Arjan, and maybe you know this Shabad if you listen to some Sikh bhajan, Sikh Shabad. He say, Koi bole Ram Ram. I will show you this one. He says, some call him Ram, some call him Kudai, some serve him as Gosain, and others as Allah. So it's a famous Shabad called Koi bole Ram Ram. You can find it online, very easy. And so he say to Jahangir, he say, at the end of the day, all these names, they worship only the one. It's only a different name to worship the one Lord, whose name is truth. That's the way he was explaining. Some call him Ram, the Hindu. Some Kudai is a Islam term. It's a term used normally in Islam. Then you have some serving as Gosain. Gosain is a Vaishnava term for God, like the Vaishnava. And some Allah, again. So he was saying Hindu, Islam, at the end of the day, in the core, there's only one Bhagavan. There's not like 20 Bhagavan. So he can only lead to the same one to some extent. And we see that in the Sufi, Guruji also has an appreciation for some Sufi saints. So it leads to the same, in the essence. If you remove the orthodoxy of it, the essence is similar. The difference come in many other ways. That Swami Ravati explained on different video also. He did a great job to explain that. But the core, the mystics, let's say like that, the mystics of Islam, the mystic of Hinduism, the mystic of Christianity, they speak about the same thing. Because they don't speak about the book, they speak about realization. So the mystic, they speak of the same thing. Orthodox is different, but yeah. And Krishna said the same. He said, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. In chapter 4:11, saying in whatever way one come to me, I come to that person also. So like Guru Arjan is saying, some call him Ram, some call him Gosain, some call him Allah. He come in that way to them. And Jahangir, he could not do anything about that. He heard about that. And then he said to Guru, and then there's different version of the story, that's why it's a bit difficult, this part. But basically Jahangir, this king, he went away. He didn't want to oppress them. Because he saw they were saints, he was against, he wasn't like open-minded like his father Akbar. But he didn't want to involve himself with this. He didn't want to involve with the anger of Chandusa, of his associate. But the priest, so Jahangir went away. And so Chandusa had all the power. He was alone, he could do whatever he wanted. And so the priest started to ask Guru Arjan, he said, now you have to change the Adi Granth, you have to change the word of your own gurus to include the praise of Jahangir. And of course he said no. And he was the guru, he was one of the greatest beings of his time. Of course he said no. And this, Chandusa, he said, okay, now it's my time. Because he refused, he refused what the emperor say. He is in our kingdom. So he say, no, you put him into prison. So Chandusa, he ordered everybody to put Guru Arjan and the 5 Sikh, into prison. And he say, no, we'll again ask him. I say, if he told Guru Arjan, he say, if you accept my daughter for your son, all will be fine. You can just go away tonight. You will be released, all good. Or you can use the money of the Sangha and give me a lot of money, and you can also go like that. It's fine. And what did he say? Of course no. Because the Sangha, they told him, you should not give your daughter, your son to marry to the daughter of Chandusa. And also the money of the Sangha, he said, I will never use even 1 cent of the Sangha to give for my own freedom. That's how he was in his mind, this pure dharmic way, in the sense of pure realization. He was so fixed in his own state. So once again, he refused what Chandusa was saying. And so Chandusa said, okay, now we will... He said, okay, now I will make him accept what I say. And that's the part of the story which is a bit less funny, let's say. But that's maybe the greatest part also. And that's something that may be a bit strange. But when I read some story of saints, for me, it's not quite about how they live. When I read the story of the saints, I'm not so impressed by how they live. Even sometimes it's completely crazy, but that's not the craziest part. For me, the most beautiful part in the life of saints is how they die. Because in many ways, life is only a preparation to death. And we have this time, which is given to us. It can be 20 years, can be 100 years. We have this time given to us. What do we do with that? What do we do? And this will prepare us for death. Whatever we do in our life will make us, bring us to different states at the moment of death. And Krishna said in chapter 8, he say, whatever you think at the moment of death, that you attain. And what you attain is not something which is just passing like here. When I say life is just to prepare for death, it's because we don't have a concept of death in which you just finish and that's it. Life is just a preparation for this last thought that will lead you to the eternal abode. To enter into that state in which the Guru can take you and bring you there, to this eternal reality, which has nothing to do like this random pleasure here. That's why Krishna say, whatever you have done in your life, like whatever you think during the day, all this, what the activities you do, whatever you do, it creates a mindset that become a state of consciousness, that become the part of you, that become a deep part of you, a deep attachment. And of course, at the time of death, what comes out is the deepest attachment. So Guruji explained, like, if somebody is super attached to his own business, or shop or whatever, at the time of death, he will think, who will take care of my business? If we are super attached to this or that person, who will take care of that person? What will that person do? So we think of the person, we think of the situation, and in that we take birth again, to fulfill that wish. So in that sense, life is a preparation for death. And in the saints, you see how beautifully they live their life, and how great is the moment of death. In the Guru Granth Sahib also there is one statement from Kabir. Kabir say, it's so beautiful, he say, live such a life that you will not have to be born again. No, die such a death that you will not have to die again. Die in such a way that you will never have to die again. So in this way you will go out of the cycle of samsara and you will never have to die again. You enter this eternal life. So yeah, it was a small, I would say, it was a small addition to that. So Guru Arjan Dev and the Sikh are in prison. Chandusa is oppressing them, saying, now you have to accept my daughter for your son. And they refuse. And so he said, no, I will make him accept. And the first day, he starts what is called the witness of faith. The martyr, we can say. the path of the martyr in this sense. He told Guru Arjan, sit in the middle of the court. It's the hottest season in India, extremely, extremely warm and hot. He told him, sit there without drink, without food, without sleep. Every time the eyes were closing, the guard were coming to wake him up. So he said, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't drink anything. And he was just there meditating on the name, thinking of the Guru. And the day passed like that. He wasn't touched. And he didn't accept anything that Chandusa was saying. Then the second day, Chandusa say, okay, now you make a huge pot of water and boil this water. And when it's boiling, put Guru Arjan inside until he accepts what I say. Either to change the Guru Granth Sahib, either to give his daughter or give money, these kind of things. And he went inside the water, and again, it's not like the body was the same. On the picture, you see on the painting, the body stayed the same, but it wasn't the case. In boiling water, it's different. But his face was the same. The eyes didn't change at all. He was always absorbed inside. So he went into this boiling water for the time it was, I don't know. And then make him many times like that. And then he came out, end of the day, still didn't accept anything from Chandusa. So the third day, Chandusa say, now take some sand and burn this sand, make him extremely hot. And you see when you go on the beach during the holiday, for a big sunny day, it's even painful to walk without shoes. So imagine that, some sand on fire for hours, and then he had to sit on that. They made him sit on that. And they removed his turban and started to pour the sand on his hair. So everything was burned, the skin was going away and all that. Hardcore. It's terrible when you think of that. But still, he was sitting there. The body, the skin was melting. But he didn't move. He didn't change. He didn't accept anything that Chandusa was saying. He didn't move in an inch from his faith. And on the fourth day, he said, now take a big metal plate, make the fire under it, and when the metal is like red hot, it's like red, white, completely burning, make him sit on that. Then he will accept. And he sit on that, the body was getting destroyed, but he didn't accept anything. He still kept, he say for 3 hours, 6 hours sometimes, he stay on that burning plate without moving. And people seeing that, they were even touching the plate to see if it was cold or something went wrong. And they were touching and just burning their finger just by approaching the thing. And he was just looking at them with these eyes of compassion, without any anger. Because the 5 Sikhs that went with him, they were constantly saying to Guru Arjan, they say, just say yes, and we take the sword and we kill all of them. And we just finish this kingdom. We just call the army, we finish this kingdom off, it's finished. And he said no. He said no, don't let this anger come. Because in the Gita, Krishna say, anger come from, 262, from desire. And he had no desire. We saw so beautiful in the beginning of his life itself, he had no desires. And so now he's on burning fire. He doesn't move at all. He doesn't move. Because he has no desire for his own life. He has no personal thing at all. He don't care about this thing. He just wants to give the Guru's teaching. And to keep that. It's so strong when we think of that. And so he was there sitting. And then they say, on the 5th day, Chandusa say, now you choose. Either you accept what I'm saying, the daughter, you accept all this, or you will be put inside a dead cow, the skin of a dead cow, and then they close the skin, and they make the skin dry. And so when they dry inside, it compresses the body. It was a practice at the time, which is a very, very painful and also very dishonored death for somebody. The worst kind of death, possibly, in terms of what's its context and all this. And so Guru Arjan said, okay, just let me go with the Sikh, take a bath in the river. His body was destroyed, the Sikh were just carrying him to the river. And they said, just let me take a bath and then I will come back and tell you. So he went to the river. The Sikh, they say, there's many painting online you can find. So to massage the body, what was staying from the body, staying from the feet. We could see the bones and all these things. So to massage him, serve the Guru like that. And then he gave them some teaching. He said, now you go back to the kingdom and you tell my son all that happened, but you told him, don't be angry at all. Again, don't have any anger against them. Only compassion to them. But he said, make a huge army. Start to build a huge army. Because the time will be very tough. The time that comes will be very, very tough. And you will see that with Somya Akash on Tuesday, I think. So he said, tell to my son to make a huge army. And then he started to recite the Japji Sahib, which those of you who went to the first lecture, Sahadev explained this Japji Sahib. It was the praise written by Guru Nanak. And the Sikh, they chant it every morning. You can find it also online. It's just to listen to that, it's so beautiful. The Shabad Azare, you can find it online. The letters of Arjan, all this you can find it online. It's very famous. To listen to it, it's very, very nice. And then he say he was reciting, and then they say he left his body. He just left the body like that, and he went to his own realm. So we see how intense was his life, and also how intense was his death, even more, you can say. But one last thing we have to see, I guess, to really honor his life, is what he was saying during the torture. During this time, he was burning on a plate and this kind of thing. What he was saying. And this is also, we can find that in the Guru Granth Sahib. He say, meditate continually on the name of the Lord within your heart. Thus you shall save all your companions and associates. And this, the next part is just so beautiful. He say, my Guru is always with me, near at hand. Meditating in remembrance on him, I cherish him forever. Imagine saying that on the burning hot plates because some emperor wants you to accept his faith. And the only thing he say, he has people who can go and kill everybody right now. No problem. The Sikh, they are great warrior. They don't have any problem to fight. But he doesn't. Because he wants to show this purity of this light of Nanak, right? And so he say, just thinking of his Guru, always with him. He say, my Guru is always with me. He was absorbed inside. All these things, the suffering, everything is gone for him. And he say, meditating again, in remembrance on him, I cherish him forever. He was in this deep state of love for his Guru. Even more in that state, even maybe, state of suffering. And then he say, your action seems so sweet to me. Imagine saying that when they pour burning sand on the hand. He say, your action seems so sweet. Nanak begged for the treasure of the name of the Lord. So even in that state, the only thing he was asking is not, please attack, please save me. No, give me the treasure of the name of the Lord. To realize the essence of the name. He said, your action seems so sweet to me. And just for a contrast, for us as devotees to make it more relatable. How many times we say, Guruji, test me today. This is a test from Guruji. Guruji want to test me. This is God want to test me. Give me this bad situation, this difficult situation. Right? And me, that all the time. We see Guruji, we think, he will give me a test, he will give me this, or we have a difficult situation. This come from God, he want to test. But here, Guru Arjan is completely different. The mind of this pure devotee, they are completely different. Even burning on a hot plate, he didn't say the Guru is testing me. He didn't even say the Guru is testing me. He said, your action seems so sweet to me. That's why Guruji in his tweet a few months ago, he said, so beautiful. He said the Guru is hurt, deeply hurt when we say the Guru is testing me. Because he's only so sweet. All he do is only this sweet love. But we can't see it. It's difficult to see. I don't say it's easy. It's very difficult to see that. But Guru Arjan, he could see this essence of the Sadguru. He could understand this essence of the Sadguru. And maybe that's why Guruji in the Guru Gita, the 10 days, the 14 days, he mentioned all of these gurus. All the 10 guru of Sikhism, of Sikhi, they all are mentioned in Guruji during his talk. All of them. Fully. And maybe that's why. Because they could see this essence of the Sadguru. That your action seems so sweet to me, even in the worst suffering. And he begged for the treasure of the name of the Lord. So again, this is in the scriptures. Guru Granth Sahib also. So to conclude, what we can remember. So the first thing to remember is from the beginning of his life now, the very beginning, how to do our seva. Because if we do our seva with desires, if we have something we want from life, we want to be recognized, we want this power, we can't do any seva. And we can't do any bhakti. Because bhakti and seva, they are very close. So we can't do any seva if there is personal desire, truly speaking. So like Guruji say, when we do our seva, we should just try to chant the name, offer the action to him, and not have any expectation. Selfless action. And then how to truly have darshan. And darshan is not only to see, but to listen to him, to chant the name given by the Guru. How to truly do these things. So as we see, Guru Arjan, Priti Chand, both of them, they were listening to the Guru. Both of them, they were seeing the Guru. Both of them were chanting the name, of course. But one of them became the greatest personality ever that we can imagine. He became one of these greatest saints. And the other one doomed himself and destroyed the whole family. Just one desire. To become the Guru, to become that. So when we listen to the Guru, just trying to apply, because one was applying everything his father was saying, Guru Arjan. The other one was using that towards his own end. So when we listen to the satsang, just trying to take even a little bit, like Guruji say, and apply that straight away, and change the mind. And then the mind cool down. Then everything become beautiful. Then we see the importance of faith in the will of Bhagavan when he was in these 5 days of suffering. And then to conclude that even in difficult situation, to see the sweetness of the Sadguru action and not see them as a test. Because as Guruji say, when we say, this is a test, it hurts. It's hurting for the Guru. And it's not the goal, we don't want him to be hurt. So trying to develop this mindset that even if there's a difficult situation, seeing the sweetness behind. I think Guruji was tweeting about that yesterday for Chandraganta. He says she's very fierce, but it's only a form of love. And if we can see that even the fears, the difficulty, all these things, they are just a form of love, just to purify us, to bring us to this eternal state, then we can say, like Guru Arjan is saying, your action seems so sweet to me. And to beg, to only want the name, and more the name, only that. Right? So, Jai Guru Dev, I will not take more of your time. It's already a bit, 5 minutes. Jai